sun shine in today. I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out. I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. And I will leave my windows open so that I can hear the sound of people talking and the wind blowing in the trees. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan. If you are new here, I am a homeschooling mom. I love to garden, I love to cook and bake and all of those things. So my channel is all about homeschooling and homemaking. So within the homemaking part falls the category of gardening. So if you have not seen any of my other gardening videos, there's not a lot of them, but I will link the playlist down below so you can see some garden tours from this summer and anything else that might be on there. So today I'm just going to do kind of a garden recap and talk about how this year of gardening went for us. So this video is actually, at the end, I'm going to be doing a seed giveaway of some of my favorite seeds. So stay tuned to the very end. My friend Mariah over at the Babcocks, she actually reached out and asked if I would team up with her, and then Megan from Creating Essence is teaming up as well, and we are going to be sharing just kind of a garden recap, and we are going to be doing seed giveaways on our channels. Now that means that you have 3 different channels you can visit to try to win seeds from 3 different places. Who knows, you might win all 3. But I'm going to be giving away several different types of seeds, and I think those 2 ladies are giving away several types as well. I will be giving them away to 2 different winners, and I'm not sure about the other girls. Make sure that you visit their channels. I will link their videos down below as well. So after you're done here, make sure you hop on over to Mariah's channel and hop on over to Megan's channel, whatever order you want to go in, and go check them out there. Make sure that you push that subscribe button down below so that you can find out who the winners are to see if you won or not. Now, we live in the suburbs, and we honestly just have 2 pretty small garden areas. However, the production that we've had this year has been absolutely incredible, and we have just been so grateful. So a lot of things that we did this year that were different from last year is, number 1, we did add cattle panels. So this is something that we have been meaning to do for years and years. It's a little bit windy out here, so if it's kind of loud, I'm sorry. But we've been meaning to add cattle panels for several years. And so we finally took the plunge this year, and we added 1 to trellis some green beans. We added 1 to actually make a walk-through trellis for cucumbers and melons, small melons, and then 1 actually a big long one for our tomatoes. So we definitely will be adding cattle panels again next year to the ones that we have this year. It worked amazing for the tomatoes. We have done several things with tomatoes in the past, and the cages just aren't strong enough, and the stakes just aren't strong enough either. And really and truly, the cattle panels worked amazingly to be able to get those tomatoes up off the ground and support them the best. The trellis, the walk-through trellis that we used for our cucumbers and our small melons, I attribute actually, well, a huge contributing factor, I believe, to the amazing cucumber crop that we got this year. Crop. Can you call it that if you have suburban gardens? I guess you can. with as many as we got, it was definitely a crop. You guys, there was so much wasted. I pickled, I don't even know how many jars. I made pickle relish. What else did I make from them? Salads. I mean, we were eating them like crazy. We were giving them away. I mean, it was so abundant with the cucumbers. And honestly, all I did was plant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants. Seven plants. And it was just incredible. So some new varieties that we tried this year. I did try dragon tongue beans, and I did try rattlesnake beans. I honestly, the dragon tongue beans, they were okay. I was not a huge fan. None of us really were. They were just kind of okay. I mean, they weren't bad, but they weren't like amazingly delicious. The rattlesnake beans, they were so good, and they now are like within my top 5 favorites of things to grow in my garden. They are still producing. It's like they produced all at once, and then it kind of fizzled out, and then all of a sudden they started producing again, and so we're like on the 3rd round, and we only planted them once. It's been incredible. So the rattlesnake beans are definitely a top fave of mine. Let's see. Other new things that we tried. Just for fun, I wanted to grow loofahs this year. And they are actually growing amazingly well right now. So some of them, because they didn't start to actually like grow until the end of the season, some of them I don't think are going to make it. But we have 2 rather large ones, and then another one currently drying. But there's a bunch hanging all over the trellis right now. And so I can't wait to see how those turn out. My plan is to do them as Christmas gifts for people, along with some like homemade soap. So I'm excited about that. Let's see, what else did we try that's new? Our basil has been extremely abundant this year. That's something that for some reason has not been in the past. A lot of my tomatoes I actually planted from seed this year, straight into the ground, and they did very well. My broccoli I planted straight from seed, which I normally do anyway, and it did really well. We had broccoli well into midsummer before it finally started to bolt. Let's see, what else? I think onions, it was our first time. Well, we've done green onions in the past, but like big onions. I wanted the big onions this year. And so I planted them, and they seemed to be doing pretty well, but then we had a really, really wet spell for a while. And I think it really got to them because a few of them rotted, and then the rest of them, they just kind of, their growth just stopped. So we ate them when they were about that big. Our carrots did very well this year. I did plant them too close together, so some of them were a little bit stunted. I knew I planted them too close, though. I just didn't want to thin them out. I'm trying to think what else. I do have a few things growing right now. I did plant radishes and some chard and some more carrots. And actually, I planted some carrots in a bucket this time just to see how they would do. To make them easier to harvest, and one of the kids hit the bucket with their bike and tipped it over yesterday. So those carrots were goners, which is a bummer. But we do have more planted in a couple of other places in the gardens. Our strawberries did very, very well this year, but this is like their 3rd year, so that's expected. I'm hoping for more next year. So our fail this year, our big time fail this year, was definitely squash and zucchini, especially zucchini. I'm really kind of bothered by that. Definitely something that I am going to redo again next year, but plant them in a different spot. I think that's what the problem was. I planted them in an area that kind of gets a lot of shade. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip-flop and grow like my snap peas and my lettuces and things like that there, so that in the summer heat they might do a little bit better and might last a little bit longer into the summer. and then where those were planted, move my squash and zucchini to that spot because it does get a lot of sun. Melons, you guys. Okay, so another new thing that we tried was we tried midget melons. They're okay. They grew extremely well, but they're just okay. So we also grew cantaloupe, and we also grew crimson watermelons. So those grew amazing, and actually they're still growing now. They won't survive though. We got several watermelons that were amazingly good, a ton of cantaloupe that were amazingly good, but the watermelons that are left on the vines right now, they will not make it because it's supposed to freeze tonight, actually. And I need to finish harvesting our peppers, you guys. But it's all grown just amazingly well. The tomato plants, I just can't even, you guys. It's just been incredible. We did get a huge load of wood chips that we're gonna pile back on top of our gardens to get them ready for the spring. We're already planning on going a little bit larger. Every year we add to it more and more. So back to the melons, I did want to talk about that for a second. So what we did this year is we had a spot on the side of a hill that we completely cleared out, because with melons, I just don't like to have anything but just the dirt in the area where the melons grow. So we cleared out the whole side of a hill area, like where it slopes, because my thought process is, well, all the excess water will just drain down the hill. The watermelons will get what they need, but they won't be oversaturated and they won't sit there and rot. And it seems like that has worked for us, because as I said, it did extremely well, and we have just been very pleased with that. So the seeds I'm going to be giving away, I wanted to do my new favorite, which is rattlesnake pole beans. Then I wanted to do an all-time favorite, which is a mix of zinnias. I love zinnias, and they just grow so beautifully and abundantly. We had a ton of them this year, and we tried all kinds of new varieties. So it's going to be a mix of zinnia seeds. And then the third thing will be something fun and new that I tried this year, and that is the loofah gourds. So those are the 3 types of seeds I'm going to be giving away to 2 different winners. The only thing you have to do to enter is to comment down below with what your favorite thing to grow is. So make sure that you do that. Thank you so much for sticking around with me today and hearing about our garden recap and kind of our plans for next year, I guess. And make sure to go visit Mariah and Megan's channel as well. Thanks so much, guys.